and it's normally still Gabi that plays Troll, and then Armel is a phenomenal Kunkka. So
where's the lock? I mean, where's the lockdown? If Virtus Pro picks something like a Morpheer for Ramses, like where's the lockdown?
It's
or
a
Weaver? There's no.
There's no lockdown whatsoever.
Yet. No lockdown yet. Still one pick to go. Is there one pick that is like the end-all be-all?
Kunkka just looks like I'm sorry,
Yeah,
just
I
beat this
think
dead horse, but it gives you lockdown, initiation, and catch. You've got okay already with the Batrider. It's not enough on its own.
It's a really long
DK
cooldown.
maybe.
Yeah.
DK could be an option as well.
I'll still throw Storm in there, but yeah, I like the
Big. 0% win rate out of 3 games. I instantly called it. I disliked it. I understand why they did go for that Weaver. It's one of the heroes that always worked really well versus the Batrider.
Yeah, and I am with no lockdowns or no like hard lockdowns just yet. Maybe Ramses is able just to be that unstoppable force on the Weaver, and that does put then the Leshrac, so no one gets to play the Leshrac in the mid.
Definitely. Weaver is a hard hero to kill, especially when you have no lockdown, right?
Yeah.
And they do not have a lot until this DK or the Batrider get a mobility item, like a Blink Dagger or something similar. So it should be a very easy game in which you can let this Weaver solo lane on this bot lane after giving him a little bit of advantage, and then create a lot of space over the map with that Leshrac.
So we're talking like Virtus Pro is going to find this space, they're going to find these items and the timings, but like TNC, we've already seen that earlier today. Look, Gauze dismissed it and said it was just those things. Like TNC, they play fast, even if the draft doesn't feel fantastic for them. Is VP going to be ready for that? Weaver sometimes can feel very lackluster. Yes, you can dodge, but can you find the farm? Leshrac needs items to survive in these engagements, and Centaur needs to be more than just a stampede. Can TNC play a faster rate than Virtus Pro?
Well, you just said it. TNC loves to play fast, but you know, Virtus Pro, they're one of those teams that started doing that. CIS was known as the scene in which you play fast. It's all about these early aggression and early game kills, and I believe Virtus Pro can match that. I'm yet to see a Weaver win, though, so...
Oh, okay, sure. It's like, so they can play fast, but the odds are against them. Mr. 70-30 on the panel.
We have some very awful statistics for for TNC, actually, from Nahaz. At the same time, Ramses is on this bottom lane and he's facing the tri-lane. He's not facing that Batrider, which is a really good play by TNC to set up their lanes this way and to dodge out that Weaver.
And Solar, okay, I kind of want to watch him because I was wondering like how he'd try and move around inside the lanes. Obviously, he's got his charge available. Weaver's already moving, so yeah, lane rotation out, switch it up so Solar can get some solo experience on bottom. This can't be the full plan. Like, is this really worth it? The amount of time you're going to trade this out, considering the maneuverability you can get.
At least
TNC.
you have these two heroes. One has charge, the other has Sukuchi, so you can rotate fast. And Solo did really well on this Baraturn. Few days ago, he had like a BKB and Vessel very early on teams.
Actually going after him. With the charge forward, it's going to push him in range, so you can actually get the, if Pasha wants, so if somebody doesn't, he went for the Retaliate to begin with.
They can't get this. They needed a few body blocks in order
in fact,
to get...
now they want to try and turn around on him. Slow him up, do some extra damage. So Pasha wants to join this lane, sure. He's got 2 Stout Shields and 6 Tangos. So he'll be able to survive, but more space is being created.
Yeah, this is a very problematic situation for Pasha right now, because you just arrived to this lane, but the equilibrium of the lane is completely controlled by TNC, as you can see right now. And on the mid lane, it's pretty even. You can't really zone out this DK, can you?
Oh, what are you going to do against him?
Yeah, he's
like,
just way too tanky.
You're going to harass him and get everything back, and then he'll just breathe fire to get his farm out in the lane. So, yeah, he's good. Charge coming at Cuckoo up towards the north. Roger's on his way up as well, so Shadow Demon, well, he's going to go with the poison. Starts with the disruption. Here comes your charge forward. The timing. Oh, it was just a little too early on the disruption, but it may not matter anyway. Cuckoo's got so much sticky napalm on him. Oh, so much poison on him, sorry.
So much poison,
that
exactly.
He'll actually end up going down. One last hit from Solo will do it. As first blood to Virtus Pro. Not the perfect timing you're looking to see from them, but it works.
Yeah, the execution wasn't perfect. It worked in the end, and that's all right. Bara is charging away now towards this mid lane, where Armel, he is still very tanky, though. I don't think that they have enough power, but we'll see.
If you can get the initial bash in, bottom lane underneath the trees, Pasha really trapped in here. Tims, Gabby, And hey, you! Down in the trees.
Yeah, that's problematic. As I said before, the equilibrium of this lane has been shifted completely, and Centaur cannot play that game in which he's pulling towards the tower and messing with the creeps. Also, he's on his safe lane, so he doesn't have that advantage of creep skipping too, which is not the place where you want to be, and that's why he's level 1 at the moment.
And this is why you're going to be happy just to leave Gabby down here. Like, man, this guy's got 15 last hits and 10 denies to his name. Money will start rolling him. And top lane, Roger. Oh, the bashes. Cuckoo just getting pushed away from Roger to get that kill. And then another one from Solo. Cuckoo couldn't get himself back over the tree line. He'll try and cut through. He's got stick charges to give him some extra life, but 3 stacks, and Solo just continues going underneath the tower. The Flame Brain will bounce around, so Solo will start to tick, and under the tower, Cuckoo might get a revenge,
Solo?
and Tims will arrive, looking for the experience, and to ensure the kill. Solo will fall.
Yeah, that's the power of the Nature's Prophet. You don't have to use that port to get to the lane. Gets there, not really in time to save the Batrider, but at least he gets that counter kill on the solo Baraturm. It's still a position 5 Bara. Is it worth it? Not completely, but it's something for TNC at least.
Air charging again up towards top.
Speaking of aggression, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, like this lane, Virtus.pro, they're definitely bringing it. It's not TNC that are the ones always attacking, it's Virtus.pro.
Is Roger willing to spam out everything? And like, you do need to see that Nature's Prophet put down the wards. If they can see where this SB is coming, maybe TNC can start to react. But what's happening? Tims with 3 wards in his inventory is farming under Observer, moves so far away the Cuckoo. Just, plays in relative safety while no one getting ganked up. AU as well as Amel teaming up to catch out the Latrak in mid.
This is much easier to do for TNC than it is for Virtus.pro to gank that mid lane.
God, here we go again. Another charge. It just won't end for Cuckoo. He wants it with a Flame Break, at least to get some chip damage back into Roger. More poison being thrown out, and Roger will be the one to get the pop.
Yeah, he has died 3 times right now. He did feed quite a lot, but at the same time, Pasha is level 3 on that bottom lane, so he's not really, like, these 2 offlaners are suffering quite a lot. Tims does get that bounty. And so far, Tims is having a really good game, at least.
Hey, talk about suffering. Like, the net worth of the Centaur is actually beyond trash. SD has more net worth than the Centaur at the moment, and they're still in the bottom 3. Charge Solo into Armel under the tower. Support is coming in from the Grimstroke.
It's
so
just
VP
not
wisely
happening.
back up.
It's just not happening. Remember, during the draft, they were talking about Linas and squishy heroes on mid. DK is not squishy. That Baraturm just cannot gank him. I think one of the best ways for them to do that is wait for the Soul Catcher from Shadow Demon and then go for him. Also, ulti from Shadow Demon is pretty decent versus the DK and the Troll. Another charge as Solo passes by 9 Pasha.
It's kind of hilarious, though. It's like she has shot straight through Armel. Solo is still headed towards the top.
Poor Batrider. I believe this one is for him.
Well, it is. Cuckoo is trying to run away, but Disruption once again. More poison stacks. Support's going to arrive in the form of Tims, as well as AU. Maybe they got some slow, but Cuckoo continuously bashed up. Ramses and Solo maybe I'll keep going onto these 2 supports. Will anyone else come in to help out TNC? AU wants to find the kill on the support, but the silence up SD just moves away. Roger gets rid of the bug, and now moves in to turn around into this poor Grimstroke.
This is not a lane anymore for TNC.
No.
I believe you just have to bail this lane right now. With that catapult, they will pressure that tower. And you can see Cuckoo smoking up, going around, trying to farm their little triangle over here.
I bet no one's there as well.
No one scouts him, and this is Cuckoo. He has to be careful
Solo.
again.
Cuckoo's going to get down the hill. Solo will join him as well. Cuckoo can play around the Roshan.
Yeah, he's actually stuck right now, so
Oh, wow.
there's that little cliff there.
Wait,
You
what?
can't, yeah, you can't. Like,
Hang
it's
on.
the worst place to be in. You have to wait for the charge, though, so he's fine.
He'll charge himself over towards mid, and Cuckoo knows it too. Giving him a little bit of the tip.
Yeah. At the same time, I believe we might see a tier 1 falling 2 on this bottom lane.
Yep.
Tims and Gabby make a quick work out of it because you see this, it's very symmetrical the way these 2 teams are playing. The offlaners are completely sacked, they're suffering. Pasha just as much as that Batrider. Batrider right now a little bit worse, but they're both feeling like position 5s at the moment.
And you can see where he had to go. Like, Pasha crossed the river to get the farm. He actually double stacked so he could get the farm up.
Yeah, the one advantage that I do see for Virtus.pro over here is that they just need that Stampede at level 6. That will help them at least a little bit. While Batrider, he needs a few items first.
Gabby could see this coming in. Observer wards are pretty deeply placed by TNC. So as these tier 1 towers start to fall down, like the 3 observer wards they have planted will watch that SB charge.
this.
It doesn't help mid. It doesn't help top to be saved. He says it's going to be free. Ramses now takes the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, pretty much in this situation right now, if you are Virtus.pro, you want to be playing around their jungle, Dire jungle, while TNC wants to play in the Radiant jungle. These two teams are playing very, very similar strategies at the moment. The midders should start rotating too as well, but they do want those tier 1s on mid first. Lashrak wants to take down the tier 1, and so does Armel.
Well, Dragonform from Armel will help him with that. But he's not even going for like earlier arms, like it's the double bracer, then he's going into that Hand of Midas.
It makes him so tanky, those two bracers.
So he can just hold through, but it does mean his rotations only come through like a run at you kind of style. There's no early blink daggers, there's no jump initiations. And that's where TNC, like, it feels like they don't have that same power as Virtus.pro. You talk about them playing the faster timing Virtus.pro, like in previous metas, but the SB charge does enable that to happen.
Yeah, Virtus.pro, their heroes are just enabled with levels, right? You don't need a whole lot on them. On the side of TNC, you do need quite a few items on these heroes to start rotating and start working.
Good scan. They know that Armel is totally alone at this tier 1 tower. And with level 6 on Roger, the Purge is out, and DK, so difficult to kill. Kuku's just looking at this, and he knows, like, he's been on the receiving end of this Virtus.pro SmackDown train.
Kuku does not want to go anywhere near them right now. He needs some farm, and that DK, sadly, because his outer lane has been lost so hard, is the next one to fall. Soul Catcher also working in. Like, there aren't many heroes that can take him down, but oh, Tims.
Can't escape. This is actually one of the worst games for Nature's Prophet.
Yes.
You get bug on you, you get charge on you, and like life is over.
You just cannot hide from these two. Weaver is so good versus the Prophet, and you can always get charged across the map, so you can't really split push either.
Going again. AU gonna look for a bit of an AoE stun, only able to connect over on
Armel
Solomon. Armel came in towards the shrine, and with the stuns, Roger's in a little bit of trouble, trying to walk it off, but Sticky Napalm's gonna connect, as well as the Flame Break. The burn damage would have got him, even if the Breathe Fire didn't.
Solo gets out, they do lose their position for Roger. But when they're playing like that, like this, Solo and Roger, they can trade buying wards a little bit. They don't really, like, Shadow Demon can buy a few so that the Baraturm is even stronger in the mid game. They do that sometimes so that the Spirit Breaker can get that early Vessel or even the BKB if they deem that's necessary.
And TNC is still making a lot of this map. Like, the gold advantage is practically nothing. The two big cores from TNC through Troll and DK still rising with time. Troll Warlord, he did TP in towards the mid to be involved, but everything is going into finishing up this Diffusal Blade. Hand of Midas is done. Gabby actually has the casual Mithril Hammer, so looks like he's going to finish up the Maelstrom first. AU's in some trouble. He won't get the stun off, and Ramses knows just how much he can get away with.
Ramses is so fat right now. That Maelstrom, Blightstone, 2 raid bands, he owns this jungle, and you can't stop him. It's so good that they gave him that advantage in the laning stage, and that they did manage to get the lane versus the Batrider to just allow him to do this. Like, how many heroes can just wrap around the tier 1 on a DK? Position 1 heroes too.
Stampede, they're trying to push forward. Armel, Primary Tiger being charged in. It's a good Breathe Fire as well as the Soulbind. They can get the AoE done. Roger's having a hard time getting away from Gabby with the charge forward. Solo can't do much more when he got stunned up, and maybe now Virtus.pro too deep underneath the tower. It still leads a 2-for-2 trade-off. Ramses just chipping away from the back lines. That sentry came down way too late to see him Chikuchi away.
2-for-2 trade-off in which Dragon Knight did fall. On the other side, you lose the Lashrak, but Dragon Knight falls first. And the Batrider, I think it's still a little bit better for Virtus.pro because they are playing on the enemy side of the map too. And Pasha is getting some something out of it. He's getting some farm on this bottom lane, some levels. And you just had 3 heroes there, so it's pretty good.
And Ramses is just like, you said it before, like, it's just free for him right now. You can't contest the jungle, so you've only got the south side.
Yeah, this is a perfect game for him. Like, a few days ago, we saw Nyx win versus the Lone Druid because it was a perfect game for Nyx. Nyx is in a really bad spot at the moment. I believe Beaver is in a similar state, but this is a really good game for him. So we'll see if Ramses is going to be able to use all the advantage and the resources that have been just injected into him in the early stage.
And then we see like what TNC wants to do in return. Like, you've got Troll Warlord with the Maelstrom, so he can just sit back and can continuously farm, but the rest of his heroes are not having the same type of fun. This Nature's Prophet doesn't have as much of a global presence. Solo, they should charge forward, going in, Cuckoo, Flame Break, trying to push someone closer, so potentially he's able to get a lasso with a double damage on Ramses. They just back behind that tower. Say hi to Armel instead.
You can see that TNC right now, they're just securing the perimeter, just farming on their own side of the map. They don't want to fight, actually. They understand that this Batrider, he needs an item. He needs at least these travels that he's going for. And their power spike is going to be with that Blink Dagger on the Dragonite, because that will allow them to actually take care of this Weaver or anyone else that they jump on. It's going to give them that initiation that they desperately need at the moment. Right now, they're just letting Virtus.pro do whatever they want. They completely handed them the ball, and they're just waiting to see if they make any misplays.
Yeah. So far, VP are not. Pipe is done over on the Centaur. They're all grouped up together. And if TNC want to fight, they'll have to go against the entire lineup of Virtus.pro. And if you want a split push, well, you're just going to get charged down and hunted down. So
at least what they're doing really well is planting these wards. You can see that one next to Solo.
Hi, Solo.
They're just setting up this very defensive perimeter that you cannot breach with Virtus.pro. So in that aspect, they're buying themselves enough time to reach these critical items that they need to fight with. So far, they just lost 2 tier 1s. It's not completely bad for them at all.
Just need to steady the ship a little bit.
Yeah, Roger just farming a bit, no one doing the same.
Ramsey's just watching the bottom lane too. Like, they're not allowing TNC to get any of their jungles to themselves. This economic, like, it feels like they're just being starved of the resources. It's about 2,000 net worth and about 2,000 in the experience as well. So it's not irreparable.
Like, this situation right here is pretty awful for TNC, because they've rotated 2 cores. They're 1 and the 2 to defend the tier 1 on the bottom lane, which means that the only place they can retreat to is this little triangle. But that means that both of these cores are farming there. Meanwhile, Roger is farming over here, Lash somewhere else. Like, the whole team of Virtus.pro is just spread out and using the map a little bit better.
TNC is smoking, but Virtus.pro is grouping up to do exactly the same thing under their own shrine. Courier is coming out, so maybe this is a little too early. The 15-minute bounty runes is the target, and TNC trying to battle around the top.
Yeah, again, a very symmetrical movement from both of these teams. One trying to go for this tier 1 on the top lane, the other the bottom one. I believe TNC's smoke is a little bit more valuable for them, because they don't truly want to fight Virtus.pro at the moment. Not just yet, at least.
See how quick they can be. Both sides fortifying up. But no matter what happens, it's still a tower trade-off. But TNC do push real quick. With DK and Troll, they burn through the waves, as well as the towers.
DK, Troll, and the Furion helping out, definitely pretty good for them. Meanwhile, Weaver is finishing that Linken's pretty soon.
Spirit Breaker is well behind the line. Sol put an Observer Ward down between the tier 2, tier 3.
Yeah, you can see how aggressive these wards are. The one behind the tier 1 before they took the tier 1, now behind the tier 2.
Bulldozers up, they're charging towards Gabby. Support from TNC. It is coming way too late. Oh, mainly because he's going to be dead. Roger actually creating some copies. Mel's had time to move over with the Breathe Fire, completely whiffing. Doesn't anybody. Gabby will fall. And now they just run forward. The quick Soulbind and double silence, but without the Troll Warlord, the damage feels very meh.
Yeah, these 2 tanky, manly boys do not care if they're soul-binded. They like it, actually. They retreat together and they go hit the tower. It's
I like
fine.
your soul, man. You can bind to me any day.
There you go.
So you'll Scepter fill a Shrag, so now no one's got his own initiation methods as well. And what are you really getting in return? TNC still not strong enough to fight. They had a tier 1 tower trade-off, but you've lost your mid. So even the tower trade goes the opposite direction.
And you lost your Troll there, which is pretty damn bad for you. Now, also, I have to talk about timings. This Weaver, we talked about the Blink Dagger on the Bat or the Dragonite. That's all fine and dandy, but this Weaver is reaching that Linken's, and then you need an extra item to take care of him. And you don't really have a lot of ways of dealing with his Linken's, do you? What do you actually even have? You have the Lasso and the Dragonite stun.
Yeah, but you don't want to be popping your lasso over on that. And he's got double braces. You need Yules. You need even Blink to catch out Ramsey out of position. Force Staff, that'll work.
This Batrider right now is not 1 item behind, but 2. You need the Blink and the Force to catch this Weaver. I understand the travels on him completely, but...
Yeah, he turned this into a bit of a split, but he's got both in the quick buy. He's got both Blink Dagger as well as the BTs in the quick buy.
I think he needs to go for the Blink first. Like this BT... we'll see.
Yeah.
It helps him. It helps
There's
him
your
move
first
the map.
Blink Dagger. And he did still buy the BTs anyway, so Blink Dagger's on DK.
All
So
right,
they have their initiation. The BTs are coming towards bottom lane. Armel wants to be the initiation over on Pasha, and then work with Batrider, who'll come through the trees. He sees nothing, and now Dragon Form, blink forward, gets a Dragon Tail stun. Cuckoo starting with sticky napalm and the flame break. They need to actually turn on the Firefly for this and drag Pasha back through. While in mid lane, you'll have your probably counter initiation. TP out won't happen. But it's a Grimstroke for a Centaur, and they're worth a hell of a lot different. 468 to the 215. The VP are moving towards Roshan now.
Definitely a better kill for TNC, but they did use the Dragon Form and they used the lasso, and that's why you see Virtus.pro instantly converging into that pit. I believe Centaur might have used the pipe and the Stampede there if he knew where the Batrider was before the lasso connected, but, you know.
It looks like TNC have no desire to fight this, but they're also not pressuring bottom tier 2 tower. Normally, when Roshan goes down from the Radiant side, you get that trade-off with the tier 2 tower on bottom, but right now, TNC, like, they don't feel like they can pressure it. Batrider is arriving. Firefly is going to be there. They have no vision to see this. The Observer from Radiant is too far away, so Cuckoo waiting for the time. SD sees him, however. Charge comes forward, and maybe they have it. Roshan gets it, but Ramses, he's already got the Aegis Immortal. Cuckoo will fall. Tims try to go into this pit, but both will end up dying.
That charge was so perfect because not only did it push the Batrider away, but Tims, this little sneaky player, he tried to go and just teleport under Roshan, but he got connected with the charge instantly and just got bashed.
Very, very cheeky from TNC. And it doesn't pay off, like losing to almost no damage or negligible damage. I get words out sometimes, not all the time.
I wonder
if, to the tier 2.
What do you think if that Aegis on Weaver is even necessary? Does he die at this point? Can you actually kill that Weaver?
So this is definitely so Ramses can just go so far deep in. Like that's all he's looking for. He's going to try and soak up everything the TNC's got. If they fail any time lapses, he's just going to go in again. Die, and he'll do it all over again.
There's a Russian word, solyara. It's everywhere here in the stadium. People are holding those panels with it.
Yep.
Basically what it means when you combine it with Ramses is it means 1v5. And I believe that's what he wants to be doing right now with this Weaver, just going ham onto the high ground with his Weaver.
And he's going in.
Doing
1v3, almost under a sentry ward. What are you going to do? Blink stun me? That's not going to work. Yeah. I'm really with you on that. Like, it's funny, like, the BTs helped get the kill over on the Centaur, so you can understand the concept behind it. Both found their items. TNC will find a new one. It's a BKB over on the Troll Warlord.
Which is pretty huge as well.
Yep.
It's going to allow him to not get shut down once he uses that ulti. Like, last fight, he uses ulti, Shadow Demon disrupts him. But there's still Shadow Demon's ulti to work with, so it's...
And he's not even meant to be the counter to the Weaver. He's meant to be the counter to the Leshrac at the moment.
It addresses one of their problems, but still not all of them. They still have multiple problems that they need to deal with.
There's holes in the ship. Armel jumping in, but hey, what are you going to do? You're going to initiate? You've still got Stampede available from Virtus.pro in case things go problematic, but Solar's got Bulldoze. He can just walk away.
Yeah, and that Dragon Form is running out slowly, but surely. Weaver again, just going into all of them.
God, Pasha's got every aura in the book. Hey, he's so tankable. Charges coming over towards Gabby. Cuckoo into the Firefly. Ramses won't dive under the tier 2 tower. They just want to take it first. This will be the last real...
Yeah, look at that Centaur, just stand, as you said. He's so tanky. He has that Crimson Guard and Pipe to work with. Can't really take him down. You can't really take down Ramses. TNC, they have to just purely outplay them in this next team fight.
And it's going to be in base.
Perhaps go on no one first somehow, but...
Look at Ramses. He just comes in. Backdoor protection. Don't care. Creep wave's on the way anyway. And they just started up. AU's going to try and slow them. Fortification comes just a little bit too late to keep the creep wave alive, but maybe Centaur. Remember, he's got Crimson Guard as well as actually having the pipe, so he'll tank through everything. You can chain them up together, and Gabby, he just wants time to hit, and he's getting that time as well. They're actually beating through Pasha. I thought he was immortal, and he'll go down to Gabby, who can turn his attention over towards Solo, who will charge through. 3 heroes from TNC being hit, and you manage to get through one. Buybacks available, maybe expended, because VP are diving into your base. You need to be able to survive this. The Breathe Fire connects over on 4. Now the buyback comes in from Gabby. They want will find out the tier 4 towers. Sprout catching at no one. He'll use the split earth to try and break it free with the flame break. A bit of a slow. Nope, not going to happen. Ramsey just gets bumped. In fact, Ramsey gives the Lincoln Sphere to no one. Protecting him, and with the lightning turnaround, TNC, they thought they had the advantage. Now they're in trouble. Gabby, why is he always so low? He at least gets at the back lines, gets one of these kills, but Gabby, he's now the new primary target. Cuckoo with the Firefly is actually causing some significant damage to Virtus Pro.
Just
then maybe Gabby can try and work with it. There's one with the whirling axes. Ramses, he's so low, but does he really still care? He's Ramses. He'll move through Gabby with Shikuchi, and they find the kill right in front of him. They use TP in, but TNC is all falling over. Ramses on almost no life. He actually wanted to die.
That's the 1v5 I was telling you about. That's what everyone here is waiting for. And man, Virtus Pro, they play that fight so well. It's difficult to push this high ground versus these heroes. The Breath of Fire, there's Grimstroke with his Stroke of Fate maxed out, not Tinksville, just out pushing and hitting you with these constant spells. They're just pesky to deal with. You're losing HP, but you bait them out. They baited them so far out that VP, they had the high ground, and then they turn, then they strike again. They make that troll die back.
Cuckoo, you want to TP in, you could die. Mel comes in with a Breathe Fire, but then his leader drops it up, allows Ramses to finish the job over on Cuckoo. Now turning his attention over towards who? Tim's is probably the easier kill, and Solo helps set him up. They are soul bound together. But remember, Aegis, 1 second, it will time out. Ramses, he starts to regenerate. They can't even stop it. They can't even attack him. Now finally, you get some kind of hit, but buybacks come thick and fast from TNC, but they are fountain diving Virtus Pro. They do not give two hoots. TNC, you can die at home. Tim's, he's almost dead. They're trying to reach him.
Yeah, they can just fall back right now and go for the tier Gs because, man, talking about aggression, this is what aggressive playstyle looks like. TNC, they're just caught breathless. How do you deal with this right now? Dragon Knight also buying back, coming back in. He has that dragon form. Perhaps you can sprout the Raxes, I suppose. They don't have Aegis anymore, so they gained a lot out of these few fights. So they will fall back, they will use that gold, perhaps take down the shrines. This is the proper way to do it. They're very disciplined as well.
Man, I give you props for trying to find something good from TNC. Most analysts will just be at this point go, you know what, Virtus Pro, they've totally got this. There is nothing that TNC can do. And you keep begging questions.
You can sprout the Raxes.
You can sprout.
You can do something. I don't know. Maybe they disconnect. Something can happen.
We just move on. Hey, it's a full best of 3. Like, hey, there's always a second chance. You push through. This is, of course, lower bracket, so there's no second chance if you lose the series, but... Man, Virtus Pro, they definitely have this game halfway in the bag.
Definitely.
But they're going to shove it the whole way down if they want to take game 1.
This is the problem that TNC is facing. They're not reaching their items on time. The timing is completely
here we go,
off.
TNC, they're going to bait around the rooms. They break the Lincoln Sphere. Lasso as well. Ramses, he's so huge to kill him off. They have to bring him down right now. Ramses with the BKB, and Gabby's like, he is target number 1, but Ramses' timelines is out. It goes again, the split earth from no one. It hit Armel and Gabby. The cores can't do jack. They're on the run up, but the charge is coming back in from Spirit Breaker. You've already got one. I think this is the game. DK's down for 75, Provo for 70, and they are just walking over him. GG is called. Virtus Pro take game 1. TNC threw one last roll of the dice. They went for Ramses and thought maybe if we can kill the raid boss, we can actually revive World of Warcraft, but it doesn't.